Kings 19:20 through 37, all things are in the Lord's hand. Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, had good reason to believe that his army would conquer Jerusalem. But the Lord had a message regarding Sennacherib, given through the prophet Isaiah. It's recorded in 2 Kings 19:20 through 34. What truth do you find in the Lord's message that help you have faith in him and his plan?
Can I read?
Should we do the KJV this time?
That kind of be harder for me.
So this is that poem. So Isaiah prophesies Sennacherib's fall.
Then Isaiah the son of
Amos.
Then Isaiah the son of Amos said to Hezekiah, saying, Thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, your prayer to me about Sennacherib, king of Assyria, have I heard. This is the word that the Lord that the Lord hath spoken concerning him. She
despises
you. She scorns you, the virgin daughter of Zion. She wags her head behind you, the daughter of Jerusalem. Whom mock and rival
have you
mocked and reviled? Against whom have you raised your voice and lifted your eyes to the heights? Against the Holy One of Israel. By your message you have mocked the Lord, and you have said, with many chariots I have gone to the high of the mountains, to the far reaches of Lebanon. I felled its tallest cedars, its choicest cypresses. I entered its farthest lodging place, its most fruitful forest. I dug wells and drank foreign waters, and I dried up with the sole of my foot all the streams of Egypt.
Have you not heard that I determined it long ago? I planned from days of old what now I bring to pass, that you should turn fortified cities into heaps of ruins, while their inhabitants, shorn of strength, are dismayed and confounded, and have become like plants of the field, and like tender grass, like grass on the housetops, blighted before it is grown. But I know you're sitting down and you're going out, and coming in, and you're raging against me, because you have raged against me, and your complacency has come into my ears. I will put my hook in your nose and my bit in your mouth, and I will turn you back on the way by which you came. And this shall be a sign for you. This year, eat what grows of itself, and in the second year, what springs of the same. And in the third year, sow and reap and plant vineyards and eat their fruit. And the surviving remnant of the house of Judah shall again take root downward and bear fruit upward. For out of Jerusalem shall go a remnant, and out of Mount Zion a band of survivors. The zeal of the Lord will do this. Therefore, thus saith the Lord concerning the king of Syria, he shall not come into this city or shoot an arrow there, or come before it with a shield or cast up a siege mound against it. By the way that he came, by the same he shall return, and he shall not come into this city, declares the Lord. For I will defend this city to save it, for mine own sake, and for the sake of my servant David.
Okay, so this is the word of the Lord concerning Sennacherib. So, who is the virgin daughter of Zion, the daughter of Jerusalem?
Is she the one who's wagging her head?
Yeah. She despises you, she scorns you, she wags her head behind you.
Judah?
What it's saying is this is Jerusalem. Jerusalem despises you, she scorns you, she wags her head behind you. So, remember, Jerusalem is a tributary of Assyria. Not tributary, but they owe tribute to the king of Assyria, and Hezekiah has said, I will no longer pay that to you. So he rebelled against it. So that means that Assyria is leading and Jerusalem is following behind.
Mm-hmm.
They're like a servant to the king. So behind the king, the servant is shaking his head, doesn't respect him, doesn't want to be a part of it. She despises you, she scorns you, she's not willfully following you and proudly a part of your kingdom.
Hezekiah didn't want his people to pay taxes anymore, so he staged the first American Revolution.
So then next it says, whom have you mocked and reviled? Against whom have you raised your voice and lifted your eyes to the heights? Against the Holy One of Israel.
It's a rhetorical question.
Yes. He is trying to clarify what is happening right now. So he's saying these things like clarifying statements.
Mhm.
You've mocked and reviled me. Who am I? I'm the Holy One of Israel. You've lifted your eyes to the heights, raised your voice, and you don't think that I'm here, but you're going to discover that I'm here. Because what person would actually say these things if they believed that there was a God there who was all powerful, who doesn't like to be mocked?
They'd probably be falling on their face.
Maybe they realize that there isn't in a God or isn't power in the gods that they worship. So they don't think that there is a God there.
I don't think there's any gods.
Because they're like, excuse me. Or if there are gods, that they're more powerful than the gods. He says, by your messengers you have mocked the Lord. So Rabshakeh was the messenger for Sennacherib. And he's not blaming Rabshakeh for Sennacherib's message. You have said, with my many chariots, I've gone up to the heights of the mountains, to the far recesses of Lebanon. So these are all symbolic, right? He's broken down other people's temples to their gods. He's taken over this city. The tallest cedars and the choicest cypresses, those are grown in some of these places, and they're well known for that, and it's given them their wealth. So he's basically felled every kingdom.
Except Egypt, even though he absolutely
Even
hates.
Egypt.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he got Egypt.
Yep. Egypt, the pharaohs became weak. It
He's
was
still
overpowered.
still super bitter about it though.
Well, maybe it was his biggest rival, so he's still like,
Yeah,
got you.
he really hates Egypt.
Egypt is gone. You think Egypt is gonna save you?
I entered its farthest lodging place, its most fruitful forest. I dug wells and drank foreign waters. I dried up with the sole of my foot all the streams of Egypt. So he's basically saying, I came in, I destroyed everything that they relied on for what they had pride in. I took over their homes. I stole all the resources. I drained the power. I stomped all over the power of Egypt. So he's very poetically saying, you've said all these things about your power over all these people. Well, haven't you heard that I determined it long ago? So this was all part of the plan. I planned it from days of old, what now I bring to pass. That you should turn fortified cities into heaps of ruins, while their inhabitants, shorn of strength, are dismayed and confounded, have become like plants of the field and like tender grass, like grass on the housetops blighted before it is grown. Some pretty powerful imagery there. So this is kind of taking the wind out of his sails, isn't it? It kind of reminds me of in Loki, the TV show, when they go to that place, waiting place, whatever that place is called.
Yeah.
And they open that drawer and it's full of
Infinity Stones.
Stones.
I cannot tell you how mad I was.
It was like, holy moly, we just spent 20 years trying to get those Infinity Stones, and now they mean nothing. But that was kind of a good statement on how we strive for things and they give us power and we feel powerful, but there's a higher power than us.
Some of the guys use those as paperweights.
Yeah. It's like what you think matters doesn't matter. So in the show Loki, it's some big bureaucracy, right? With some kind of malevolent head trying to make you hate God because that's what Disney's all about.
Yeah.
But in reality, there is a all-powerful God that knows what's going to happen and puts people in power and prompts them to do things or allows them to do things that evil promptings in their heart he allows them to do. If he is going to use them as the tool of his wrath, the tool of his justice in the
But
world.
he didn't make them. They just chose people.
Well, yeah.
Just want to make that clear. God
Um,
doesn't bring bad things.
he doesn't have to. Satan does that. But he can allow people to gain power, and he can allow people to become stumbling blocks to other people. And the thing is, though, is that he has given his people a promise to protect them. And the only way that he doesn't protect them is if they step outside of his protective reach. And oftentimes he allows them to be destroyed, pretty much, to be humbled, so that they'll turn back to him and come back and be like, I remember that when I'm with him, I have power and strength and I become good and great and everything's beautiful, beautiful and prosperous. But when I'm out here doing all this stuff, excuse me, I am subject to the whims of the devil. And so he allows people to be humbled and destroyed so that they'll come back to him. And so this king of Assyria, he is wicked, and God sees him. See this next part. I know you're sitting down and you're going out and coming in and you're raging against me. I know everything that you're doing. And he's going to hold him accountable as well. It's not like he doesn't have to have justice just because he wasn't breaking, or, wasn't rebelling against God as one of his people. Everybody is subject to the commandments.
This king guy, the evil king guy, is still a child of God.
Yes, and he loves him. He loves all of his children. But he's definitely going to, in a loving way, be a just God. So, because you have raged against me, your complacency has come into my ears. I will put my hook in your nose and my bit in your mouth. I will turn you back on the way by which you came. So, he's crossed the line, and now he's going to correct him. He's going to bring justice. And then he prophesies about future events. And then he says, the king of Assyria will not step foot in Zion or even shoot an arrow. I will defend the city for my own sake and for the sake of my servant David. So the people in Jerusalem, are they super righteous?
No.
No, they're not. But for God's purposes, he will protect it and to perpetuate the line of David like he promised he would. Right?
Yep.
Does he protect it?
Yep.
Yes, he does. So, in that, all of this that we just heard from the voice of the Lord, what does this give you faith and hope in his plan?
Yes.
Because
It's very encouraging. And I I have done, like, you are mocking me, saying, and this was my plan from the beginning.
It makes it very clear that he knows what he's doing.
so some of these people on earth gain a lot of power and influence, and they feel like they can do all these evil things without any repercussions. And so they start to go, there are no repercussions. I can do whatever I want. I can gain as much power and do all these evil, horrible things to people, and nothing bad will happen to me. Is that the case?
No.
During COVID, there was all of this control over the media about what was allowed to be said. And it became really clear, like in the government's efforts to control the messaging that we could receive in our media. And a lot of it was like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, thank you, YouTube, all these social media platforms that people are addicted to. Suddenly, there were these controls over what could and could not be said there. And rather than it controlling the masses of America, it instigated this red flag response in a lot of people's minds. And they said, wait a minute, what is going on? Why are all these people getting taken down for saying something? Why are these people getting arrested for saying something? Why can't I post this on this platform that is supposed to supposedly free of these kind of controls? With all of this happening, there was this pushback for freedom of speech and for freedom of expression. And it prompted Elon Musk to buy Twitter and allow people to be able to say things without repercussions. So then we have this one platform that is not being regulated by these corrupt people who want to control our minds and thoughts and beliefs. And now suddenly we have an outlet for people saying things without being stifled. And then
It's bittersweet.
we get Nick Shirley. And he suddenly has a platform where he will not be buried by the algorithm. In fact, Elon Musk retweeted his documentary about fraud, and that's how it became what it is today. And suddenly, Nick Shirley is on a quest to expose fraud in our country. And it's exposing a lot of corruption in our government. So you have in these latter days, and the whole Me Too movement might have been kind of a virtue signaling farce in some ways, but it did expose the evils of that industry and brought forth certain people of power who were
Filthy dudes.
really, really harming people. And they were making some of the most popular films and infusing these things with all of this stuff. So you see the arc of God's will in all these things. We are a very wicked generation. We are covered in the filth of our culture, and our culture is getting filthier and filthier as time goes on. And we are being less and less protected by God because of this. But God sees all of it. All of these powerful people who are trying to bring down all the goodness in the world, he knows what they're doing. And they can't hide from him and they can't overpower him. And when they come up against a covenant people, they can't bring it down unless they bring it down from within by poisoning it with their filth. And then it can decay from within. And that's what's happening right now. It's, there was a Russian leader in like the 60s or 50s or something when when Stalin was in power. And we became enemies with Russia because we were enemies to communism. And one of their leaders said, their children's children will be communists. America will be communist because their children's children will embrace it. We don't have to go and fight and lose millions of men to overcome America. We just have to wait because they'll become complacent and their children's children will become communists. And you know what? He was right. How much of your generation believes that communism is a good thing?
A lot.
Way more than is good.
They don't even understand it, I don't think.
They don't understand it. They've been brainwashed into believing it's a good thing because they didn't get taught history in the real way that it happened. They got taught the tenets of communism in an idealistic way. They didn't get taught how human beings have enacted communism throughout history. And the rhetoric is, well, they did it wrong. If you do it right, then it's a good thing.
Communism facts. You just do it right. They are doing it wrong.
Oh no, is America not gonna be communist?
They're trying real hard. They have socialists taking power in all sorts of places. Like the mayor of Seattle is a out and out socialist, and she's ruining Seattle right now. The mayor of New York City is a socialist, and he's ruining New York right now. So it's two of the most powerful cities in America are run by socialists, which is communism cloaked as some kind of idealistic ideology. So when you see all of these terrifying monsters that you know are going to come in and just destroy everything good, how do you have faith in him and in his plan that everything will turn out for good? That good will triumph over evil?
Like I said, he knows what he's doing. He's made that very clear in in that little poem there. No, it's all part of the plan.
So does that help you when you watch all, like, what I struggle with the most is watching all these children your age, your generation, like 30% of you are LGBT now, and a percentage of you are chopping off your privates and trying to become a different gender, and like that kind of stuff is happening in large numbers. So it's you sit here and you watch all of these horrifying things happening in the world. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much evil happening in this world. And people turn away from God and go, how could a good, loving God allow this stuff to happen? Well, what's your answer to that? How does a good, loving God allow all of this evil? So you think it's like worth it for this person to do this evil thing to that person so that you can learn a lesson?
No, it's what's it called? Give me a second. Agency, that's what it is.
Agency.
You're not going to make the bad guy choose the right thing.
What about those innocent people who are harmed by it?
He has us here to help them, and he has stuff laid out for them.
What? Well, I will give you the answer to this. And what I think is, you're right. He's not going to take away the agency of anybody. He's going to let people play out all the evil in their hearts so that he can bring full justice upon them. And he has the power to heal and to grow in opposition to that evil, even greater goodness. And he doesn't abandon his people and he takes care of them. And he uses all the bad things that happen to people as an opportunity to grow them even greater than they could have been before. So sometimes you do go through hard things, but if you turn to the Lord in those hard things, he will turn it into good and into a superpower. There is a young man who was a missionary in Tahiti. He'd only been out for a month in Tahiti, and a person broke into his home, smashed him in the head with a rock, and threw him off of a balcony because he was a missionary for our church. Well, he woke up from being knocked in the head on the ground after being thrown off a 3-story building with nothing wrong with him. Nothing. And I listened to him talk about it, and he said, God sees all of his missionaries, and he protects them, and he takes care of them. There are 88,000 missionaries in the field right now, and for that amount, the amount of things that go wrong is crazy low. And every time a missionary has been assaulted or whatever, and they've been, then someone will go and interview them, they always say, I'm glad I was there. God protected me. He's helping me through this. I wouldn't change it for the world. I've seen the power of God in a way I never would have otherwise. And it brings them so close to God. And they become then a mouthpiece for God's miracles and his miraculous protection over those that serve him. So, yes, bad things happen to good people because of bad people who seem to have no limit on their power. But he knows them, he knows what they're doing, and he is ready to turn them back to the way from which they came when it's time. All right. Well, I love you guys.
Love you, Mama.